UNC beat Charlotte 20-3. If you go to the national reaction, which when you hire Bill Belichick, part of what you're hoping for is a national spotlight on your program. Which, by the way, when they play UCF in a couple of weeks, that was just announced. It's going to be a national televised game. That doesn't happen if it's not Bill Belichick, right? You're not playing UCF on the road and getting any kind of premier broadcast rights. So if you look at the national reaction to the win over Charlotte, you're not getting a Belichick defense shows up after a disaster in week 1, holds their opponent to 3 points. You're not getting Chris Culliver, the next big play threat, 70-something yards and a touchdown. You're not getting any of that. You're getting Bill Belichick admits he banned Patriot scouts from the program. After the game, Bill Belichick was asked why Patriot scouts aren't allowed at UNC.
Yeah, well, no, it's clear that I'm not welcome there around their facility, and so they're not welcome at ours. Very simple.
All right, there's 2 ways to take this. One is to look at the facts. And Mike Vrabel, the head coach of the Patriots, actually had a pretty good rebuttal. He was like, well, wasn't he here for Tom Brady's jersey retirement? Matter of fact, I just got the thumbs up. We have the audio. Here's Mike Vrabel talking to the media in reaction to what you just heard from Belichick.
I mean, he came back for, the best of my knowledge, Tom's ceremony, so that I guess he's welcome back based on the fact that he was there. So I'll just go by that. Since his departure as the head coach here, he's been back, and I'll leave it at that.
That audio courtesy of WEI up there in Boston. Pretty good argument. If he's not welcome, why was he here welcomed? But here's where the Shakespearean element of it comes in. Here's what I can't get rattling out of my head. In a Shakespearean tragedy, and I took very few English classes, but I think I remember this conversation in lectures. In Shakespearean tragedies, often the fatal flaw, the thing that dooms the epic hero, is also the thing that brought them the glory, that made them famous, right? The pride, the hubris that ends up doing them in is often also the thing that drove them to greatness. Right, think of Achilles in the Odyssey, or the Iliad, and all of those things with Homer. Right, it's the unbelievable feeling of immortality. You're invincible. That ends up doing you in. For Belichick, I don't think there's a doubt that his competitiveness, his pettiness, his grudge holding is part of the reason he became who he is. Right, he still hates the Jets because of how they dealt with him as an assistant coach wanting to take the Patriots job. There's a world where the only reason he dominated that division the way he did was to get back at the Jets. Drove him maniacally to be the best coach in the world. Drove him maniacally to continue to dominate defensive football in the NFL. But now it could be also the cause of his downfall. His pettiness, his competitiveness, his grudge holding is leading him to ban the Patriot scouts from the organization that he now runs, right? He has to get the last word against the Patriots, but in actuality, he's not hurting the Patriots at all. You don't have a first-round pick on the roster, coach. You might have a 5th. If you help out your players, showcase themselves. You might have a 3rd. You might have a late day 2 if things go well. But the Patriots aren't going to be hamstrung by, oh, darn, we won't get as good a look on the day 3 defensive ends at UNC. You're just hurting the players. And you think you're hurting Robert Kraft. It was week 2. You won a game. After the game, you're in the media. You're being asked about your petty back and forth with the Patriots rather than what'd your defense do, right? Rather than the football. It should always be about the football. And I know he did talk. I mean, it's not like the entire press conference was that one clip we played you, but that's the entire conversation coming out of it. And then the other thing that strikes me is he's yelling at the wrong people. Right? There's regional scouts that are banned from going to practice at UNC. It's not their fault that Robert Kraft and you ended ugly. right? The GM or even Mike Vrabel, who's one of your guys, he played for you. He's a Patriot Way guy. Like that, they're not the ones that did you dirty on the way out of New England. They aren't. Yet you're making their lives more difficult and hurting your own players in the process. It's like when any of us get mad at like some kind of customer service rep or something. I don't know, you're yelling at the person at the front office or the front desk about something that an overbooking or something, and they're like, I didn't do it. I don't have a room to put you in, and you're screaming at them. It's like that. You need to get like the owner on the phone, Robert Kraft, if you're going to get anything like at the person that you're actually mad at.
Yeah, the server at your restaurant didn't overcook your steak.
Exactly. And they're probably overwhelmed and doing everything they can to help you. He's yelling, he's screaming at people that quite frankly didn't participate in the transgression that he's mad at, that he's mad about. And he's holding a grudge that is going to end up hurting himself. And we've talked about this. If you're a player, and I can vouch for this, Dennis, I'm sure you can as well. Any player at any level, there's enough luxury, or not luxury, there's enough ludicrous, lucky, diamond in the rough stories that even if you're like third string as a junior, you're still thinking, hey, a couple injuries, I'm going to play. I could go to the NFL. Right? Ja'Cory/Bill Krosky Merritt for Washington. Played one game last year at Arizona before being ineligible. He ran for a touchdown in his NFL debut.
Look at Willie Parker was a backup at Carolina. British Brooks, backup at Carolina.
It only takes one. Every single player in college football, even if they don't say it vocally, publicly, because it's a little long shotty and it's a little embarrassing, they're dreaming of playing in the NFL. Would you stick around at the program that is limiting access of the people that can make that dream happen? Or if you have the opportunity to hit the portal, would you consider it? If you're a top recruit and you're looking at the college football world as a 3-year stopgap detour before you go shake up the world in the NFL, are you going to the team that is banning scouts? Now, if you're Bill Belichick, you have to know, because you're a coach, you've been doing it a long time, coaches don't win games by themselves. You need the players. Are you just making it more difficult on yourself to recruit? You think you need a handicap? You need to hold your hand behind your back to make it fair for everybody else? You don't, trust me. UNC beat Charlotte. That should have been the story, and it's not. Because of the petty, grudge-holding back and forth between an NFL team and a college team. Let me correct that. Between an NFL owner and a college coach. It is much more mano-y-mano than it's playing out.